While cutting down a tree, the young man accidentally destroyed a squirrel's nest. The small squirrel was thrown from the nest and fell heavily to the ground. Severely injured, it was unable to walk and could only drag its damaged hind legs as it struggled to crawl forward. Deeply remorseful about his mistake, the young man immediately found a cardboard box, gently placed the squirrel inside, and carefully fed it some water using a syringe. Fortunately, after a few minutes, the little animal's condition began to improve. Seeing the squirrel remain quiet and composed, without crying or struggling, only intensified the young man's sense of guilt. Determined to make amends, he resolved to do everything in his power to help. He promptly took the squirrel to a veterinary clinic for examination. Tests revealed that its hind legs showed no response, and X-ray imaging confirmed fractures in the hind limbs. Thankfully, there was no nerve damage. The veterinarian applied a cast to stabilize the injury, after which the young man brought the unfortunate little creature home to care for it. Moved by compassion, he devoted himself to the squirrel's recovery. Each day, he prepared nutritious food and carefully arranged a warm, comfortable nest. Under his attentive care, the squirrel gradually overcame the trauma of its injury. Well-fed and well-rested, it soon began to play happily with him, growing stronger and healthier, its once fragile body becoming noticeably plumper. To support its rehabilitation, the young man set up climbing structures in the room, allowing the squirrel to move freely and rebuild its strength. As they spent more time together, a deep bond formed between them. Whenever the young man reached out and called, the squirrel would eagerly scamper over, having already come to regard him as its most trusted family member. With continued care, the squirrel's injuries steadily healed. After the cast was removed, it regained its former agility and vitality. Overjoyed, it leapt and darted around the house, finally releasing the emotions it had long suppressed. One day, when it ventured into the living room for the first time, the household cats were utterly stunned, staring in disbelief at what they thought was a giant mouse. Undeterred, the friendly squirrel approached to greet them, while the timid cats panicked and fled in all directions. Over time, however, the cats grew accustomed to its presence, though the mischievous squirrel still delighted in surprising them, often jumping out unexpectedly and sending them scattering in comic fashion. These amusing scenes filled the home with laughter and warmth. The young man's girlfriend also grew fond of the affectionate little squirrel. She interacted and played with it daily, cherishing their shared moments. To bring it closer to nature, the young man eventually kept the squirrel in the yard and built it a cozy nest in a tree. Life there was peaceful and comfortable. At the sound of his call, the squirrel would still eagerly run over to him, enjoying his gentle touch. With frequent treats, the squirrel became increasingly round and chubby, resembling a small, furry ball. The girlfriend captured the squirrel's daily antics in short videos and shared them on social media, where viewers were deeply touched by the heartwarming bond between the couple and the squirrel. One day, the young man noticed a pile of pine cones stacked at his doorstep. At first, he assumed it was a prank, but soon realized it was the squirrel's doing. It repeatedly carried and tossed pine cones to the door, offering its most treasured possessions as a gesture of gratitude for saving its life. From an accidental encounter to mutual reliance, this unlikely story became the warmest light in their lives. The squirrel repaid kindness with pine cones. The young man restored it,